The views and opinions expressed in the following program are those of the program host and do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by TCN TV Network Incorporated. Due to the social nature of this broadcasting channel, videos may contain content copyrighted by another entity or person. The TCN TV Network claims no rights to the said content. TCN TV Network cannot be held accountable for the copyrighted content. TCN TV Network is a messenger and sharer of information and strives to verify but cannot warrant the accuracy of copyrights or completeness of the information on this program.
What's going to be happening in the next couple of days now? I don't know how involved I'll be getting in with them, but how did that come to be?
Yeah. So.
See that? See?
But no, really though, like, and
Left. That to me is confounding and confusing in that.
Shows that we now have on our roster is growing, and we have a lot of new shows here. I'm only going to offer solutions on the show. I'm not going to do what everyone else is doing right now and talking about how many people got shot, when it happened, how it happened. We know it's happening. We're past that now. We don't need to keep pushing that narrative.
So welcome everybody, welcome. Happy Friday to everybody. It's Friday the 13th for you suspicious people. Actually, I woke up this morning with a headache, so I don't know if it's because it's Friday the 13th why I got up with a headache or just because I'm superstitious. But regardless, happy Friday and welcome to In the Now with Simone Jennifer Smith. I actually have an in-house audience today. It's not a big audience, but it's still an in-house audience. And they're actually audience and guests. So we're going to get to them in the third segment, but of course, I like to always keep you guys updated on what's new and fresh and trending in the news, especially for what it has to do with our community. So let's start. Ontario. Apparently, according to Statistics Canada, 5 Canadian provinces increased employment gains while the rest of the country remained steady. So things aren't going badly for everyone else, but it's kind of steady. But for 5 provinces specifically, things have gotten better. So, Ontario. Employment in Ontario increased by 2,500,000 compared to August 2018, and that's about an increase of 3.5%. The province produced the bulk of Canadian jobs, 58,000, all part-time work. Quebec was next, and theirs was in finance, insurance, real estate, and leasing. So Quebec's employment rate rose for the second month in a row. The unemployment rate of 4.7% was the lowest among Canadian provinces compared with the same last year, at the same month, last year. The employment rate increased by 112,000, which is a 2.6% increase, and an additional 20,000 new jobs in August were the reason for this increase. So Quebec, when it comes to real estate, insurance, and finance, that looks like it's the place to be. Manitoba's next. So according to Statistics Canada, the increase of employment in Manitoba went from 52,000 last August, and now, what are they at now? They went up 5.5%. They didn't give me a number for that, so what is that now? But they went up 5.5% compared to 2018. Saskatchewan, and actually that was in, just so you guys know, professional, scientific, and technical services. In Saskatchewan, the unemployment rate decreased by 5.1% due to the increase in jobs, and this is all in the service industry, all right? And finally, New Brunswick. So the unemployment rate of that province stayed at 8.6%, and most of this was in information, culture, and recreation. So just to kind of give an overall, the professional, scientific, and technical services industry got 109,000 new jobs compared to August 2018. And Statistics Canada said that this was the fastest rate of growth among all the major industrial sectors. So some great things happening. Ontario, we're actually doing all right. Well, other provinces too, but we're still doing really good too. Let's go on to my really exciting news. Now, I have a guest here who's actually Guyanese. and he doesn't care about this news. But I cared about the news, so I'm going to share it anyhow, and he's going to share it with his family. So JetBlue announced today that it is expanding its large Latin American and Caribbean network with new nonstop services between New York, John F. Kennedy International Airport, and Georgetown, Guyana. So excited. There is no excitement on the set, none whatsoever. So flights will operate daily on JetBlue's new A321 Neo aircraft beginning April 2nd, 2020, with seats available for purchase in the U.S. starting today. So the government of Guyana is delighted to welcome the services of JetBlue to Guyana. Guyana's Minister of Public Infrastructure, the Honorable David Patterson, told us that the introduction of this immensely popular low-cost carrier will see lower ticket prices to Georgetown and provide travelers with an opportunity to fly on an airline of choice to their favorite destination. So this JetBlue agreement, I guess, is timely and comes on the heels of a continued and sustainable growth in several sectors of their economy, including service, tourism, mining, oil, and gas. Nothing? No happiness? Nothing? Yeah. Wow. I guess some people just don't want to go to Guyana. I guess that's just what's happening today. When we get back, we're going to talk about something, I guess, a little bit more local. They might be interested in this. We're going to be actually heading over to Montreal, where they are having the Montreal International Black Film Festival. We'll see you guys soon on In the Now.
With so many newspapers within the community, it's sometimes hard to tell what separates us from the rest. Most of the time, they all brag about the same thing. You know, the large circulations, tons of online views, and it can go on and on. But what really separates the Toronto Caribbean newspaper apart from everybody else? Well, it's simple. Our service. No, seriously. Hi, I'm Grant Browning, founder and CEO of the Toronto Caribbean newspaper. I have over 20 years of branding and marketing experience, and I've worked with countless companies and corporations to do one thing, and that is to raise their profits with their brand. With over 40 years of combined experience in branding and marketing, our amazing staff is fully prepared to sit down and figure out exactly what you need to stand out from your competitors.
The reason why you don't see us out anymore is because
the ad is too powerful, bring too much people.
So what are you waiting for? Give us a call today. We'll be happy to help.
Listen, the last week and a half, I swear, I think people might be sick and tired of me talking about films. But you know what it is? I'm very excited that our community, especially the Caribbean community, you get to see all of the talent that we have. This is why I'm so excited about it. We really are very talented. Actually, in the Toronto Caribbean newspaper this week coming up, I do my top 5 Caribbean film festivals across the island. So that's something you guys can check out. And as I was telling my Selena back there, again, thank you, Selena. I forgot to big her up at the beginning. Selena McCallum, thank you so much for everything you do. I've told her, get your films out there. She's a budding film director and a whole bunch of other things, photographer, but she's really great at what she does. So anyone who's into the arts, definitely pay attention in the next couple of weeks. I'll be doing a lot more on it, especially with our guests coming up. So let me get through this part, and then we can talk some more art and film and movies and everything else. So the goal of the Montreal International Black Film Festival is to bring audience to the most beautiful and most amazing new Black films while creating a space to debut major cultural, social, and socioeconomic issues. So I believe I sent you the website, yes, Lena, to pull up a few things for them to take a look at. So they want to promote a different kind of cinema that hails from here and from abroad and that does not necessarily have the opportunity to grace the larger screens. Now, they want to deal with issues and present work that raises questions, that provoke, that make us smile, that leave us perplexed, and of course, that shock us. So the MIBFF screens films and holds activities in the two official languages of Canada, which of course you guys know is French and English. Its documents, promotional, and interpretive materials are also bilingual. So this is something that is kind of cool too, because we get to get different actors from all over. Some of the things that I'm excited about seeing is opening night, September 24th. Actually, let me give you the dates first. So it runs from the 24th through the 29th of September. And their very first night is they're premiering Harriet. So I don't know if you guys have heard about this movie yet. And if you haven't, you should have. This is going to be premiering that night. Also, let's see. Oh, another huge thing. Central Park 5. Two of the gentlemen from Central Park 5 will be there for an intimate evening, and that's on September 26th, 2019. So I'm sure they're going to be discussing the film that came out, the short documentary, their roles, of course. This, if you haven't seen this, when they see us, definitely take a look at this film. It's amazing in so many different ways. And of course, we got to interview this gentleman last week, Mr. Jimmy Jean-Louis from Haiti. And we were talking about his movie Rattlesnakes, actually on Here to Help You, which was on Tuesday afternoon. Again, another really great short film. I'm always so amazed. I'm lying. I'm not really amazed because I know how talented our community is and the Caribbean community is. It's just great that now the world is starting to see how wonderful the community and the great work that's coming out of us. So, when we come back, I'm so excited. We're going to have two, but I'm letting one hold on because he punked off my JetBlue to Guyana thing. So he ain't coming on to the 4th because he's going to Guyana. He's going. We'll talk about him in a minute. But we have Mr. I'm going to say his name right. Calyx. Calyx Passailaigue. I know. He's going to say it properly when he comes back on. See you guys soon. I knew I was going to mess it up.
At Benjamin Law, we understand the real cost of personal injuries. As the victim of an accident, you may be the one who's physically hurt, but your main concern is that your family are the ones who will pay the price. Benjamin Law will be there for you, helping, supporting, and working tirelessly to resolve your personal injury case. Call 1-855-899-4878 or visit benjaminlaw.ca and let our family of lawyers help your family.
With so many newspapers within the community, it's sometimes hard to tell what separates us from the rest. Most of the time, they all brag about the same thing. You know, the large circulations, tons of online views, and it can go on and on. But what really separates the Toronto Caribbean newspaper apart from everybody else? Well, it's simple. Our service. No, seriously. Hi, I'm Grant Browning, founder and CEO of the Toronto Caribbean newspaper. I have over 20 years of branding and marketing experience, and I've worked with countless companies and corporations to do one thing, and that is to raise their profits with their brand. With over 40 years of combined experience in branding and marketing, our amazing staff is fully prepared to sit down and figure out exactly what you need to stand out from your competitors.
The reason why you don't see that anymore is because
The ad is too powerful, bring too much people.
So what are you waiting for? Give us a call today. We'll be happy to help.
My name is Trish Curling, and I am an online coach, personal trainer, and yoga teacher, and your new host of Shaping Life, which is all about understanding that we have the ability and the control to take charge of our health and wellness. But we can't do it alone, and I can't wait to sit down with the best in the industry. Please tune in every Friday at 1 p.m. live here on the TCN Network.
I came out because of how wimpy you turned out to be. She's literally, when I say literally, she's holding her friggin' balls in her hand and she's saying, hey, Jamie, come on, I need you right now. I need you to, hell, make me breakfast even though you can't make it the way I want to. Or hey, Jamie, let's go out tonight even though I got shit to do.
That's fucking enough.
Yes, we did. We did pull it up.
I can't believe you.
I found that one.
Yeah, no, just that you're like throwing that up there. That's great.
Like that. It was funny.
I'm glad. I'm really glad.
I have tons. There were so many for me to go through for you, though. So I would like to. I'm going to introduce you to the message again. Okay, so I'm going to talk to you about him first, okay? And then I'm going to have him say his name correctly because I'm terrible at it. So with his company, Passailaigue Productions, say your name, please.
Calyx Passailaigue.
Writes, directs, produces, and occasionally acts in his own short films. So in his works, he has created a world of sad, pseudo-intellectual, sociopathic, orphans, and delusional art house films. I'm going to talk to you about all of those genres because those are very odd. So his work is an official selection at many international film festivals, including Beijing, Newark, Adana, Regina, Goa, the Toronto Black Film Festival, the San Francisco Black Film Festival, and the International Film Festival of South Asia. This young man is everywhere. I would like to introduce to my TCN TV network audience, Mr. Calyx
Passailaigue. You got the first one. That's great. No, that's really good. No, it's story of my life. Literally, is that the name?
So you know what? You know what's interesting about you? I'm going to drop this first. This gentleman beside me is, like myself, we are second-generation Jamaicans. I loved it. When I saw, that was probably the first thing I saw. So we're going to be talking about his latest movie, which is actually in the film festival in Montreal next week. Yes?
Yeah.
Zine.
No, sorry, Zine is not in
But we're talking
Montreal.
about Zine in this.
Yeah.
But he'll tell us about what's in the
Yeah.
Zines in this. We'll talk about that a little bit later.
Yeah, cool.
But let's talk about, like, how did this all happen? Okay, so you're Jamaican, Jewish.
Yeah, got a bit of British in there,
British,
a bit of French in there.
French.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
How did that? Okay, so basically, I'll start on my dad's side. So on my dad's side, basically family in France, the Passailaiges. So it actually stands for, there's a river in France called the Laigue, and so we're pass the Laigue, right? Pass the Laigue. Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Family in like 1700s went initially to Haiti, and because, French colony, right? And then from Haiti went out to Jamaica, went kind of spread out all around. I have a bit of family in the Cayman Islands as well, went to Jamaica. But, for generations, basically, my family lived in Jamaica as a result of that. And then also on my dad's side, there's the Magnot. So that's Scottish, basically. So they kind of came right from Scotland to Jamaica.
Okay.
So that's one side.
Okay.
And then, in the 70s, my family basically immigrated to Jamaica. To Canada, I meant. Yeah, to Toronto from Jamaica.
So does your father have a heavy accent?
No, my grandmother does, though.
Oh, I would love it.
Yeah, it's actually in Zine. I put her in the movie.
So we're going to get to that. Let's talk about that. Okay, so let's talk about first how this all started for you. How did you get into directing?
Yeah. Oh, well, I guess I've just always kind of loved telling stories, really. You know what I mean? I love the act of storytelling, and I love how stories can kind of unify people. You know what I mean? I love how a story can, you can see yourself and understand and gain empathy from that. And I think that's super important, especially in this day and age and in this time and stuff. And so I've always loved that, and I think I really started, performing and acting, and I did singing and acting and playing characters and stuff. So that's always kind of been a part of it for me, right? But I also I really just found I love telling stories. I love writing, and I really love directing, and just being on a set, working with people, helping people to craft a performance is super huge for me as well. So, yeah.
So how did your family take this? Did you always know you wanted to do this? Like, were you one of those early budders where you're like, yeah, this is kind of what I want to do?
Yeah, I'd say probably, in my like grade 8 yearbook, I wrote I wanted to be a director and a screenwriter. So,
so you knew?
Yeah, I knew for quite a while, I think. Probably from around the time I was maybe 13, 14-ish, probably. Yeah, okay. That I really wanted to do that. So.
What did your family have to say? So what Caribbean parents are like? Find a trade.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, there was definitely that. I remember sitting around the time again when I was like 13, 14, sitting around with my uncle, and we were all like sitting around a restaurant or something, and literally it was just the conversation like, okay, so Calyx wants to be a director, eh? Like, really? Like, yeah, he wants to make movies. Yeah, especially because they're all like big into math and science and stuff.
Of course. You
should
be an engineer.
Yeah, exactly.
That was your goal, and you didn't go past your goal path.
Yeah. No, but they're all the thing is, I had to convince them, right, that like I'm gonna put the work in. I'm gonna put the hours in. I'm gonna put the work in, and I'm gonna really make this a priority. And so once I did that, it I think they all really believe in me now. I think so that's really good.
What has that been like, putting the work in? What does that look like for you for the last 2 years?
Well, initially I went to Ryerson. I was lucky enough, I should say, actually, from high school, I went to an arts high school, which I met so many amazing people there, and they really helped to foster. It was Unionville High School around Markham, and that was huge because I met some great community. I also just had amazing teachers that fostered that, and then from there I went to Ryerson to study film. So those two were huge kind of starting points, and really since then it's just been about putting the time in, really, and I guess it's a word that has some negative connotations, but it doesn't for me. It's hustling, you know what I mean? Just trying to put yourself out there and be really active, and not be complacent with where you're at, but always trying to go further.
Right, pushing your own boundaries.
Yeah,
sometimes.
Exactly.
Okay, your favorite project to date?
That's tough.
Top three.
Top three. I've written a screenplay for like my first feature that I really want to make, and I do feel like it's probably the strongest thing I've written. So I feel really, really good about that. I'm really proud of the film that you guys showed the trailer for, actually, Men at War, because it was kind of made to be kind of a film that I showcase and and show around, and that really shows my.
Is that the one that's going to be?
No, that's a different one. Yeah. Okay. The thing about Men at War is that trailer, actually, it's funny because that scene was an improvised scene that actually isn't even in the movie, but I want it just to give a taste of what the movie is. Yeah. And that's Richard, who co-produced my film Zine, who plays that character who's doing a lot of the talking. And in that film we're really trying to confront, I guess, misogyny, sexism, you know what I mean, topics like that, and sort of, I guess, almost get to the root cause of maybe what causes that, right? But we really want to confront that in a really honest way. The idea, really, toxic masculinity is one aspect of it, I think. But to me, I think it's just the feeling of maybe when your sense of pride or your sense of, in a way it's not wrong to have a sense of pride necessarily, but I think when that pride becomes about putting other people down, maybe, you know what I mean? Or about being jealous or having that kind of woe is me mentality, or I'm not constantly thinking I'm not good enough. I think when it's motivated by that is when it gets really dangerous, in my opinion.
And that's what that talks a lot about that in Man
at
War. So is it like a Man at War themselves?
Exactly. Yeah. Well, the idea.
See how I got that?
Yeah. Well, because I think it's what it's also about is it's that idea of because in the film basically the character that Richard plays is it's about that inner voice in your head that gets you to doubt yourself or gets you to or gets you to lose it on other people. You know what I mean? Or gets you to get it's about that inner voice, and Richard almost plays a personification of that kind of. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So definitely one of your. So which film is actually before we get into Zine, which we will in a few minutes? Which film is in the Montreal?
Okay, so this is a film that I did while I was still in university. It's called 1968. And that film is basically, doesn't really have very much to do with Caribbean-ness. It more so has to do with, it's about the year 1968 and the civil rights movement, actually. And this was just a topic that fascinated me, really. And so it's a film where, in 68 and late 60s and stuff, there was a lot of racial tensions, civil unrest. So basically, it's all set in kind of this garage where a huge riot is taking place outside. And what happens is a white, kind of wealthy, upper-class college student and then a Black Panther get stuck together in this. And so the idea is what they have to say to each other.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that would be really intense. I see that you like to hit these social issues head on.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't go. Yeah, there it is.
And there it is. Yeah.
You don't. Can we play? Do you have a trailer for that?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. If you go to the
is that the
Joke
trailer?
channel. I don't know if a link is on their website, unfortunately, but if you go on my channel, you can.
Oh, maybe we could get a few. So let's talk about a little bit more about the fact that you kind of hit these. What other social issues are you really passionate about?
Well, yeah, I don't know. I feel like the huge divide between gender right now is such a huge thing where I think we're getting so much things about toxic masculinity, you know what I mean? And this idea of, I feel like maybe we're not talking about it, or maybe we're not I think we talk about it, but I think we often talk about victimhood, which is super important, you know what I mean? The idea of abuse and situations like that. And I'm not to say that shouldn't be addressed, but I just feel like we also need to address why abuse happens, you know what I mean? And go to the people perpetuating the abuse, you know what I mean? And saying, or causing the abuse, and saying, why are you doing this, you know? And that is honestly what I'm really trying to address with Men at War. And a lot of these things too is, the person who does that maybe, or even unconsciously does it, or doesn't realize they're doing it, or if they're doing it from a place of privilege, which we, again, has spoken about a lot, why are they doing, why that's happening, why the obliviousness maybe, So that's something I really try to hit on. And then I also think just class and sort of economics, and the fact that, just a lot about that topic too. I think the idea of things like poverty and stuff. I feel like we don't really talk about how much economic factors affect our everyday life, really.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No, you make some good points, and it's interesting because, again, I love seeing a white Jamaican. Especially more than seeing a white Jamaican, I love hearing a white Jamaican, because you look at them and you're like, something that makes sense. I would love to. I want to see. I have to see Zine because I need to see your grandma.
Yeah.
I need to see all of that in real life. So, Miss Celine, did we find that we can maybe exit? Okay, so we're going to actually exit with a trailer for 1968. And when we come back, we're still going to have Calyx.
Good job.
And we're going to have another gentleman in here who, honestly, since he's come here, all this man's trying to do is bat people up, okay? All upset. I try to do good things for this man, and this man's in here being real Caribbean-like. But we'll have him anyways when we come back. See you guys soon.
This is why I put him in. Zine.
Clearly. See you guys soon.
Hello everyone, my name is Jermaine Chambers, and I'm very excited to tell you about the newest political and current affairs program coming here to Brampton. It's called On Point.
The first step of true reconciliation is learning more about one another.
Join us on Tuesdays from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. as we discuss all the issues.
I will never forget the trust you put in me.
Municipal, provincial, federal, and any issue of national importance, we will talk about on Point. So do join us.
My name is Trish Curling, and I am an online coach, personal trainer, and yoga teacher, and your new host of Shaping Life, which is all about understanding that we have the ability and the control to take charge of our health and wellness. But we can't do it alone, and I can't wait to sit down with the best in the industry. Please tune in every Friday at 1 p.m. live here on the TCN Network.
It's one word. That's what it is. Diversity. 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 It's artisanal tea, by the way. So, our film, Brothers in Babylon, is a neo-realist drama about two brothers, one black and one white, who are ripped apart by the tides of modern life. My family is from Jamaica. You're basically taking on the spirit of the entire islands with this performance, right?
He doesn't know what's right from wrong in the culture. Listen, man, he's using this.
Welcome back. There's like a mad dash. Watch always trying to look all cool on my. Listen, don't try to come look cool on my set, okay?
No, it's not my fault. You're jealous.
So listen, the first time I'm actually come in some more. We need to see you with all your nonsense. Yes.
I feel like I'm on Calyx's bum crease, though.
No, we're good. We're good. Don't worry. Bum crease, okay? What is wrong with you? So. I don't even know what to say. Like, why did you put him in your film again?
Because this is the exact reason why he put me in his film.
So over him. So I would like to introduce you guys. We have Mr.
Calyx
Passailaigue.
Yeah, you got it. Except that S at the end, but you were so close.
So you got it, but you didn't.
Come on. Come on. Okay.
No, try mine now. I'm not gonna help you though.
Whatever. This is Mr. Tarek Glancy. So actually, I first know. Good. You know what? He's awesome. Honestly, all jokes aside, even though I want to cuss him out, he's an incredible actor. I saw him for the first time, half naked, in the production A Little Black Lie.
Yeah.
I wrote about that. It was actually really another one of those things that was focusing on topics that have to do with what's going on in our community. And I thought it was actually, someone actually had some shade to throw about that. They said that I was wasting my time writing about that. I should be spending my time writing about other things. I'm like, spend my time writing about other things other than the fact that, black men are dealing with homosexuality.
I'm sorry, someone threw shade at you?
Yeah, for writing
the review on it?
Yeah.
Oh, why? That's stupid. No, yeah, fight for that.
So this is why Mr. Calyx has put him, I said your name right?
Yeah.
Has put him in Zine. So, talk to me about Zine. We'll get to Mr. Tariq in a minute.
Okay.
Talk to me about Zine.
Well, okay, basically, this film came about because literally some people I know, they're called Alegua Cultural Productions, they just offered like a grant, basically, to say, we'll give you five grand to make a film about sort of, essentially engaging with. Now, the initial pitch of it was sort of engaging with a culture that's not your own. Obviously, I'm Caribbean,
yes.
So, but I sort of decided to take it, when I did the initial application, to take it from the idea of a white Caribbean versus a black Caribbean and the differences of that experience, right?
Right.
And especially because being a white Caribbean is a very unique kind of experience, as you were saying, right? It's very
yes.
The idea of it's almost kind of makes people laugh, you know what I mean? It's kind of funny, right? And so I wanted to kind of play on that, especially because I know I come off as like a very white guy, right? And it's it's kind of but I have that culture, I have a bit of that knowledge,
you
right?
do. So, you can tell though.
Yeah.
You can tell.
and the other thing too is that the main character of this film, Zine. So literally, I wrote the application. I went in with that, but then I also wanted to make it a comedy, especially because I know Caribbeans can be funny as hell, right? Like, gift of the gab and ability to just basically improvise something that can be, hilarious. So, and also not afraid to laugh at themselves and make, and I love that, and I wanted to put that out there, but also, basically also the main character of the film, Chad, is a character that Richard's my co-producer in the film. There he is. We literally, the character of Chad is a character that I invented right from high school, actually, that I've been playing for almost 10 years. Yeah, and I play Chad, who's the lead character. And he's basically, and so he's a character that I know very well, and so he thought it would be funny to take this character that I'd sort of invented, who's this very neurotic director, and add the fact that, my own cultural background of being Jamaican, and putting that and just making it this, and then making it basically a comedy mockumentary, making it a
Why did you put anybody Guyanese?
Well, because, just to make it wild.
You know what?
I am in the film.
Okay, so listen, let's just get to him now. Yeah. Okay? Tell us about your role, Mr. Terry. Honestly, all jokes aside, I think you're a brilliant actor. I think you're able to...
cheers.
You're able to go from, like, different characters and really, really easy. Like, in A Little Black Lie, you were this passive boyfriend. Mm. But in this film, what are you playing?
I play Ben. So he's the DOP, right? And he's like behind the camera and filming everything. And
DOP?
he's
director of photography.
It's a film. Sorry with the film lingo. But he's the director of photography, and he's not the most positive person, let's say.
Go figure.
It's quite natural. The character is quite natural. I'm naturally a miserable son of a bee, so it was a really easy part to play for me, actually.
The character of Ben was really inspired by
more cynical.
On a lot of like film sets, amateur kind of more so low budget film sets, which is what we were
work on,
riffing on, and what we work on, yes, and what we run.
Yeah.
Basically, sometimes you get, I find especially with cinematographers, not so cinematographer I work with here in Alter, but a lot of them, they're just guys who come in and they're there for the day, and they're just there to like basically get the job done and piss off, basically, like,
yeah, which is what I think the funny thing is because maybe from an outside perspective, you think it's all like, art and vision and visionaries and all that kind of stuff. But it's funny because when you get onto set, it's really like these are just people's jobs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they want to get things done, they want to get it efficiently, and they want to go home just like everybody else.
Right.
So that's kind of one thing about actually the mockumentary that's kind of cool, is that you kind of see that we're playing characters, right? But you kind of do see and get a little bit of insight into that world.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tell me more about Ben.
Ben?
Tell me more about Ben. Why is he so damn miserable?
Because all DOPs are miserable.
Seriously?
Yeah, like
is that
seriously.
just like how it is?
Yeah, it's just how it is. They're all miserable.
Yeah.
So when you picked him, did you just know this is the person you wanted for this?
The thing about I feel like there's something about just I knew I could get you to give that physicality, right? Or just kind of the
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Him fierce miserable, you see?
Yeah.
And I knew it'd be really funny to have you give that face, to have you be that guy, especially because
it's the eye pass.
Yeah, exactly. It's the like, especially because like Chad's character is so like, come on guys, let's create art, and then I'm trying to get everyone excited, and then this guy behind the camera just like, when's lunch?
So he felt the same way about like the JetBlue thing? Same idea?
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. It's natural. It's natural.
But then there's one point though where we mess with we're gonna mess with his footage because the idea too is like the DPs they really care about like the footage. Just it's the only thing they care about is like just having that beautiful image. And so at one point, my character is gonna go expose some film, like some film that we'd shot, right?
Yeah.
And then he goes, wow, and then he goes crazy.
Yeah.
And this was all improvised. Yeah, it's like
that was great. That was a great moment.
Oh, that was so awesome.
Yeah.
Because he literally just takes the big reel of film and just whips it at me.
Yeah.
And it's the one point where he actually gives a shit because we're threatening his footage, right?
So speaking of which, you're half Irish, half Guyanese.
Yes, ma'am.
So that explains the crazy guys. It's the
a pathological one might say.
No, but
some kind of neurosis going on there.
No, but you guys, honestly, I love the idea of this film. What do you guys want for you, and then for you, Tarek? What would you guys want people to take from this? Seeing you guys in it. What's your driving point?
I think honestly, a big thing I want to take from it is just don't be afraid to laugh at yourself. And honestly, don't be Chad. Look for Chad in yourself and avoid it. because it really is a cautionary tale. It's kind of, the character, he's this big caricature, right? But he's oblivious, and he's so blocked by his own sense of pride and his own sense of rightness that he can't,
Oh my gosh, my phone alarm is going off, that's terrible.
That he,
Anyhow, sorry,
yeah,
guys.
no. He's
Sorry.
No worries. He's just extremely obstinate. You know what I mean? He's extremely like.
Keep talking.
Yeah.
No, don't start.
Oh,
talking.
okay.
Keep going.
Yeah.
That's like the same music they play at the Mandarin. Is that is that where you got it from? It's true.
He's pushing it.
It's true.
Hello, thank you, Selena, for covering up the fact that I just took a step away to turn off my alarm. Wow. Okay, so Mr. Tarek, how about you? What would you like people to take from your character from the film itself?
I think I'm not trying to steal what you said, but I think it's kind of like it's on the same lines. You know what I mean? It's like it's to not take yourself seriously, and the film deals with issues of the diaspora and issues of race and culture and stuff like that and integration. And I do think that the conversation that's happening now in pop culture is a little too serious, and people are taking it way too seriously, actually.
Right.
And I think the great thing about comedy is that comedy sort of makes those serious issues palatable for people, right? Because it takes the edge off, and it does tell you to laugh at yourself, right?
That's true.
And if you can laugh at yourself, you can laugh at others, and we can talk about things in a productive and progressive kind of way.
I love it. It's true. It does make it. All I use big words.
Palatable.
Excuse me.
No, but it's true, and it's and me and Calyx talking about this in the car before too. The other thing that I think is an advantage is that since it does deal with Caribbean culture, it's inviting to everybody, whether you're Caribbean or not, because the Caribbean's it's a melting pot of cultures.
It is.
So really, like, everyone can see themselves in it.
Somewhere inside.
And that's the advantage of our culture, right?
Because you can see yourself.
Because you can see yourself in it.
I love it. He actually has some sense.
Yeah, no, I do. It's all a front. It's a front. It's a front.
I want to thank you both for coming.
Thank you.
Honestly, I appreciate it. I'm glad I actually got to meet you off stage with clothes on.
Well, I mean,
be clothed.
He was clothed this time.
Skin out is the best out.
Good night, everybody.
And on that note, oh my gosh, where can people come and see it? Because I'm gonna go see it.
Okay,
for sure.
Yeah, so Varley Art Gallery is going to be playing it. This is again how I got the money was through basically Tumon Markham is a exhibition. So yeah, where the film's playing. So yeah, Varley Art Gallery in Markham. It's going to be playing basically on loop anytime the museum is open, gallery is open from September 14th, all the way till January.
I'm going to see that.
Yeah.
I have to.
Yeah.
This is going to be awesome. Thank you both.
Thank you
Honestly, so much good. I love when there's positive energy in here. It makes me feel better.
Cool.
Gives me some life, even though certain people are still miserable. Hi, Ice.
Who are you talking about?
I don't know what you're talking about. Guys, have a wonderful Friday. I hope we've brought up your mood. If you guys were having a shitty morning, I hope this has made it a little bit better. Go check out Zine, guys. And we will see you all next week on In the Now. Say bye.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Damn miserable.